Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and another monthly Patreon Q&A. This is a series where I respond to all my Patreon's questions regarding me, Star Wars gaming and so on. This time around I decided to not do it live simply because there hasn't been too much people who have been able to tune in live, so I thought I might get some better production quality if I just do it like a recorded video that I edit afterwards. But again, a huge thank you to all my Patreons for supporting me. It means a lot and it does help out a lot as well, so I really appreciate every single one of you. But now, without any further ado, let's jump straight into the questions. First off, we have a question from Martin H, who says, what do you think DICE has in store for Star Wars Battlefront after the Rogue One release? Well, I'm guessing that first and foremost we will probably get the bow rifle and the Hero Blast game mode sometime after Scarif, because it feels like it will kind of be lost in all the content if they release that with the Scarif DLC, so I think they're holding that for probably either late this year or next year. But other than that, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm guessing maybe they will have something like with Battlefield 4 where they release the DLCs free. I don't think there's going to be any free maps like people want, unfortunately, but I could be wrong and I hope that I'm wrong. Maybe some free weapons, it's hard to say, but what I think is just bug fixes, maybe some free DLCs, the bow rifle and the Hero Blast. Those are the only things I honestly think we will get right now. Jorge says, I'm sad that the tank we saw in the Scarif trailer is not listed in the Amazon list for the Ultimate Edition. Do you think there still is a chance we might get it? This is the tank Jorge is referring to, like you can see from the Rogue One trailer. And I don't think it's gonna be added, because I know that Lucasfilm, who are the ones who pulls all the strings, are very strict with having the right stuff on the right planet and so on. And as far as I know, we don't ever see the tank on Scarif. We only see it on Jeddah, so I'm guessing that tank is probably something made for more like urban environments and cities, so it maybe wouldn't fit on a planet with like sand and water. And so I don't think we will get it, especially since it wasn't on the Amazon listing and it wasn't in the Battlefront Scarif DLC trailer either. So I mean the Ultimate Edition trailer, to be more exact. So unfortunately I don't think it's gonna be added, although I agree with you, I would also have loved to get it because we have too few ground vehicles in my opinion. Brandon T asks, do you think there is any chance they will give us Clone Wars in Battlefront 2? I'm not sure, I don't think so, to be honest, especially since they've basically confirmed that it will be sequels. We've seen what's it called again? The First Order TIE Fighter, and my best bet would be that they would include the best from the original trilogy, like with this game, and then they will add in sequel content and the campaign and so on. But I just don't see them adding Clone Wars on top of that, because it would just be too much content to create. You can't create that in a realistic timeline unless you like cut out so much content that you get like 1 or 2 planets from each era, which would suck. So I would rather, although I want Clone Wars, I don't know really what to say. I mean, I would prefer Clone Wars for this game, but it seems like that's not going to be the case, unfortunately. So I would guess that maybe they will save Clone Wars for a future game, or for the game that Respawn are working on, which seems to be a Clone Wars game, based on the small facts we have. So yeah, in short, I don't think there's going to be Clone Wars in the Battlefront 2 from DICE. Jorge asks, would you like to work at DICE? If so, full-time or part-time, and doing what? Although I have done game development, and I think that's quite fun, right now YouTubing is more fun, a lot more fun. YouTubing is like a dream job. So that's something I want to continue doing, and if I want to work at DICE, I could potentially do it, but I wouldn't want I wouldn't want to do it full time, at least not now, because considering I do YouTube. But if I could do, let's say, 50% like part time, I would either like to do community management, because that's something this community really needs. There's like no active community managers in the Battlefront community, unfortunately. There's like no one on the forums, no one on Reddit and so on. It's like Dennis is the one who's been responding to most questions, and he's on paternity leave. So I would love to work as a community manager, and other than that, possibly a QA tester, because I feel like there's a lot of bugs in this game that I've discovered after like 1 hour of game time, after a new patch is out, and I feel like maybe my expertise in the game could be helpful for the team or something, I don't know. They probably know better about QA testing than I do, but I feel like if they brought in a player, someone who plays a lot, compared to someone who's educated in being a QA tester, I might be able to find bugs that they can't find because they don't play the game as much at home. if that makes sense. So either QA tester or community manager, and I could also consider working like as a designer somehow, but I don't know, I don't think I had the qualifications for that. Brandon T asks if Battlefront 2 is based off the new trilogy, and with only 2 movies to go off, will they have enough content to work with, considering that already used Jakku in BF1? First off, Jakku was, or actually, yeah, that was the Battle of Jakku, which was like 20 years before, so they could sort of reuse Jakku and like remake it to be Jakku in The Force Awakens. I wouldn't mind that at all. If they have enough content, I have no clue. The thing is that if they do it for both episode 7 and 8, they will probably have enough content, but that means that the game comes out at the same time as the movie, if not earlier, so they gotta be really careful. They can't reveal anything beforehand, and it's gonna be like, I don't know, it feels a bit strange to have episode 8 in it, but they might have. But if it's just episode 7, that's not enough content. They're gonna, I don't know, that's pushing it from DICE side or like Lucasfilm side or whoever is in charge, because that's gonna be so few heroes, there's like no new vehicles at all. So yeah, I don't know. I think if they have set episode 7 and 8 and the original trilogy, they will have plenty of content to go for. But we will simply have to wait and see. I think DICE knows that, they definitely know that the game had a little bit too little content at the release, and they want to get a higher rating. The EA executives have already said that they want a better Metacritic rating, so they will definitely improve on the areas that they know that they didn't get too good critique on. And Voltimus Prime asked, hey Elliot, should Battlefront 2 2017 implement a squad system like the one in Battlefield 1, given the wealth of information both canon and otherwise that indicates wars were probably fought in large squads or units? Yeah, I guess you can definitely see like in the Clone Wars they had a lot of squads and units. I think a simple squad system with 5 people is like the max you can get. Other than that, it's just going to be kind of not pointless. If you have like 12 people in a squad, it's going to be like having a team. I don't know if I want a squad or not. I think the partner system works fairly well when they actually make the partner system work with its bugs and so on, but the base mechanic of it is very good in my opinion. For the way Battlefront plays out right now, I think that a partner system is better than a squad system. But if they make the game more like Battlefield, a bit more open, more higher play count, conquest and that kind of stuff, then I think squads will be better. But the current kind of close quarters, very high-paced game, I think a simple partner system is better. And Voltimus Prime asked, would you prefer that Battlefront 2 2017 work as an addition to Battlefront 2015 with similar gameplay mechanics, or do you think DICE should start again from scratch? I don't think they should start from scratch, because that kind of might put them in the same seat as with this game. Now that they have so much to work off, it means that they will be able to produce so much more content in less time, which is very good for all of us. I think they should just refine everything from this game, make the gameplay mechanics better, take a look at what did the community not like, what did they like, improve the things that they didn't like, and just try to build on this game. Don't make a new game that's Battlefield Star Wars, and that's not what this is supposed to be. Keep this, improve on all the areas that they know people didn't like, and I wouldn't mind if they kept some of the stuff altogether from this game, like some of the maps, game modes and so on, while still making it fresh. So yeah, I think that's how I think they should handle transitioning from this game to the next one. And this is kind of a similar question from Martin H. Do you think EA's Battlefront 2 will reuse any content or any current Battlefront maps? Possibly. I'm not sure if I don't think they're gonna reuse them all together, to be honest. I feel like that's just not what DICE is meant. That's not what they usually do. They want it's fairly lazy. I mean, as a developer standpoint, it's a little bit lazy, of course. But on the other hand, it's more content for the game. So I think they should focus on new maps, make everything fresh, and then maybe you could transition in some of the old maps as free stuff later down the line. I don't think that should be part of the base content. You shouldn't count like, oh, we have 15 maps, but 7 of these are from the old game. Yeah, so that's how I feel about that. Brandon asks, things from Battlefront 1 you would like to see return in Battlefront 2. hero system I think works fantastically, except for how you pick up the heroes. But I have a separate video for that. But when you actually are the hero, the way that works is really good in my opinion. I like the freedom you have in this game with the star card system, but I haven't really found out the perfect way that I would like it yet. But something in between Battlefield and Battlefront is what I would want. I want some freedom, but maybe a little bit more limitations, so people won't just have the same loadout all the time. Is there anything else I would like? It's hard to say. Hero Hunt, I know it's one of the most hated game modes, but it was quite unique. Refine it all together, make it perfect for the next game, and keep Hero Hunt, because that is the best game mode if you just wanna do pure hero versus infantry. And I think that's it right now, but I'll probably have more stuff I will mention in other videos and so on. Jorge asks, would you consider doing a new top 30 tips video, perhaps after Scarif? I believe it's your most watched video, and how I and probably many found you. The game has changed a lot since you made it. Yes, I have actually planned to do that right after Scarif, because a lot of the things in that video is outdated. They have patched and nerfed a lot of the things I talked about in that video, so I will definitely be making a new version of it. I will probably reuse a lot of the stuff from it, the things that are still core and important, because I want to make this video into something that everyone who's new to the game can watch. So I will reuse everything that is still relevant from that video, and then add in a lot of extra tips that are from the DLCs, because there's probably going to be a lot of them. So yes, that is a plan. Jorge also asks, are you going to Battlefront HQ? I'm assuming you mean Star Wars HQ. When wreck them? I have challenged them to a one-on-one multiple times. I'm not sure when they will pick up that challenge, and because I would love to do a one-on-one, definitely. And the last question from Jorge is, what things other than YouTube content creation are you doing these days? It is my main job, right now, YouTube, but I do some what's it called, tutoring? I don't know. Like, I help out at my old university with programming. The new students who code, I just help out like I don't even, advisor? I'm not really sure what it's called. I go around there and help them if they have problems with their code and so on. And I also have my old job, which I've had for like 2 or 3 years, where I'm a timekeeper for races. I don't want to go into detail, but basically we go out with our equipment, we take time on the races, whether they have ships on the foots if they're running, or on the helmets if they're bicycling. So yeah, both of those two are like small extra jobs I do on the side, both because it's nice to get an extra income. I don't have a huge channel, so it's kind of like pushing it, trying to do it full time right now, but it's fun, so that's what matters to me. And on top of that, it's nice to get out a little bit, not just sit at my PC all day long and do videos. So yeah, that's what I do on the side as some other small jobs on side of YouTube right now. But yeah, that wraps up this Q&A, the November Q&A. I will do another one next month as always. So if you are Patreon, make sure to leave some questions on my Patreon page. And as always, a big thank you to all my Patreons. I really appreciate it. I may have some changes coming out to the Patreon system in general, but that all depends on whether I get access to some cool YouTube features. But yeah, I shouldn't say more than that, because I'm still not sure when and if I will get those. But I will get back to you if and when I do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.